his side of the story. And what he told me, I cannot make it public because it is unpleasant. It is highly unpleasant. And this is an elderly man's matter that I'm talking about here. If you go and spew such things about my elderly father, I wouldn't be fine with you. So, with your indulgence, I wouldn't go there. That was the end. We exchanged pleasantries and then exchanged contacts. I left his office.
Okay, so what was the other meeting? This is a domestic one. What is the other meeting?
The other meeting, I was there one day. Chief Bugri Nabu called me that, "Commander, where are you?" Then I told him where I was. "Please, can you come and see me? I want to discuss something with you." Chief Bugri Nabu, after his call, when he made that statement to me that I should come and see him for a discussion, I told him, "Okay, Alhaji, I will come." So I went. When I went, he told me, after asking me about the progress of the assignment he gave me in respect of his assistant, Aite, he told me, "Commander, they are looking for a new IGPO. So do you have somebody in mind that you can recommend?" And I told him, of course, yes. So he asked me who that person is. And I mentioned Commissioner of Police George Alex Mensah's name to him. And then made him know about his credentials, his academic qualification, and the way he's highly respected among the rank and file of the Ghana Police Service. There, Bugri Nabu told me, "Oh, as for Commissioner, I know him. He has come to my house before in Dansomai. It was some boys from the Jubilee House that brought him to my house. And according to my investigation, he is on retirement." And I said, "Wow, retirement? Where did you get all these information from? You are not a policeman. Police internal matters, how did you know it?" So he told me, "Oh, Commander, but we are also in the system. We know everything." Then I said, "Okay, no problem." So I took time to let him understand that Commissioner George Alex Mensah is not on retirement. Anybody that told you that told you a lie. It is a total falsehood. It is not true. Commissioner George Alex Mensah is on his terminal leave pending retirement. That doesn't mean the person is on retirement. So I took my time to let him know the differences between the two. And then he told me that apart from him, if I go and tell the appointing authority and it backfires, who else can you recommend? And I recommended 3 other senior officers, commissioners. Number 1, COP, Mr. Ernest Owusu. Third one, COP, Mami Yatiwa Adodankwa. Fourth one, COP, Mr. Tete, Mr. Christian Tete Yonu. And that was all. So, final one, the last one, that has brought all this controversy is that I was there on the 19th of June, 2023. At 2:13, I have the records. I have the records here, which I will tender with your indulgence when I'm done. 2:13, Chief Bugri Nabu called me that, Commander, there is good news. So I want you to come with
2:13,
2:13 p.m.
Which day? Which date?
On the 19th. On the 19th of June, 2023. So I should do my best and come with Commissioner. Then I asked him to call him because he told me you have his number. He has come to your house. But all the same, a big man who is a chief, well respected at the time, not now, has asked you to do something for him, not any bad thing. Not any bad thing. That come with your commissioner, COP, Mr. George Alex Mensah. I told him to call him, and he called again. He called again. The calls were coming one too many. And I was a bit surprised that what at all does this man need me for? For him to call me 12 consecutive times. 12. The last call was 5:57. More than 3 hours. He still wanted to see me. Never knew there was any malice. And I thought that just as he called me some time ago to go and told me something, let me go and listen to him. And then when I started going, I had a call from, I think I had a call from Commissioner earlier. Yes, around 4. Around 4 thereabouts. 4 thereabouts. That, Asare, where are you? We are waiting for you. Me, I didn't know anything. So I went. And when I went, if you listen to the tape, the communication was already going on. Because why I didn't want to go initially was that you wanted me to recommend somebody to you. The person has been recommended. The person is in the office. He has come. Me, I don't need anything from you. I don't want you to do anything for me. I am not a commissioner. I haven't gotten to even AC or chief superintendent to give me a course to have that idea, mindset that I'm closer to the seat. I'm nowhere closer. So the person that is closer to the seat is there with you. But since the big man, my boss himself, has called me, I have to be respectful and do them the honor. So exactly so, I went there, met them, they were talking. Then he asked me, Commander, what is your opinion on the performance of the IGP? And I told him my opinion. I'm done, my Lord, Honorable Chair.
You know, this narration is good for us. But I asked you a question which triggered the narration. So let me read to you what Chief Bugri Nabu said. And this is the third meeting of the committee. And I'm reading from page number 7. Have you had the benefit of our proceedings? Okay, Council. So, Council, get to the proceedings dated Monday, the 28th day of August, 2023. And then page number 7. and I'm dealing with the last two paragraphs. A little bit down. I want to quote what Chief Bugrenabo said. I even promised Commander Asare that if he would come himself, then I'll go with him to the president so that I would sit down and he would talk directly to the president. He told me that day he was traveling, so he wanted a man called JB, who is also a police superintendent, to come and join me. Okay. Okay. He would equally say the same thing that they know about the IGP. So they called JB on phone. He said a lot on phone. And I told him that Sunday, 3 o'clock, I'm going to book an appointment and go with him to the president. He said yes. He would be with me at that time. On the Sunday, I called JB and asked him to meet me at Afrikiko, and I'll drive him to the president's place. He said he was in the Eastern region for a program. I said, but you said you were coming. You people came to my office for such an important thing, and now I'm going to be with you to meet the president, and you will not go. I was so disappointed. Brother Asare, it seems to me that Chief Bugrenabo is saying that you introduce Superintendent JB for purposes of going to see the president on the matter. What is your response to that?
Honorable Chair, that's not true. That's not true. Because I'm the type that I know how to present my issues, assuming without admitting that that was true. Assuming without admitting that that was true. I will be eager enough to go and meet the president myself. Yes, when granted the opportunity. Because how many people can have that opportunity to meet the president? Then I snap a picture with him, go and put it in my hall. That people will see that I'm also somebody. Yes, so I'm not getting where this is coming from. I'm shocked. I'm surprised.
So is it your case that Chief Bugrenabo is inventing a story against you?
Exactly so, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Members of the committee, you've heard your man. These were the few introductions we have to do. And now you have the space to interrogate him. Who is ready to start? Yes, my good brother, you can start.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman. Superintendent Asare, how are you?
I'm good, Honorable Chair.
You know, if I am on the mic, I expect you to be in a comfortable zone. We've known each other for years, and you know what I stand for. You know my level of integrity, that when I ask a question, it's not a personal question. This is a public hearing. The public wants answers. It's an issue that has attracted so much public attention. The public is interested. So to the best of your ability, you provide answers to the questions that I will ask. But never in your dream think that it is Peter who is asking questions. Yes, Peter is asking questions, but I'm asking questions because the public needs to know. So you assist the committee to appreciate what we are doing here. Before I ask my first question, I also want us to appreciate the fact that the Ghana Police Service is not on trial in Parliament. The committee has a simple mandate vis-à-vis the tape that had leaked. So we are just going strictly according to the mandate given us. First question. You spent 27 years in the service. When were you in the Upper West region?
Honorable Chair, I was in the Upper region and when the 2012 election results was about to be declared. No, the election petition was about to be declared. That was when. So they declared the results whilst I was in WA, and I left WA in 2015.
Between 2012 and 2015, did you ever see or meet Chief Bukuru Nabo in WA?
Honorable Chair, as I indicated earlier, the first time I met Chief Bukuru Nabo was when his son, Prophet Emmanuel Tei Bugri Nabo, took me to his office that he was going to say hello to his father.
So the answer is no. No. Yes.
Thank you. Chief Bukuru Nabo, in his evidence, told this committee that the first day you met him and he asked how you got to know him, you said you got to know him in the Upper West region when he used to come to Alaji Short. And Chief Bukuru Nabo acknowledged the fact that, oh yes, Alaji Short is a strong MPP member, and he used to come there. So you can't be wrong. Are you indicating to the committee that this is not true from Chief Bukuru Nabo?
Honorable Chair, it is not true.
For your 27 years of experience, can we help this committee, and of course the public that is working, that is watching, how are IGPs appointed?
Honorable Chair, just as you rightly said, what I know is that appointment of the Inspector General of Police is the sole prerogative of the President of the land, of the Republic. And that is what the Constitution says, Article 200, Clause 1, that the President, in consultation with the Council of State, shall appoint the Inspector General of Police.
By implication, it is the prerogative of the President, as you said. Is it very okay to also lobby for the position?
Honorable Chair, this is my personal opinion, which has gotten nothing to do with the tape. But if I'm to express my opinion, lobbying has been with man from antiquity. It is not today that lobbying started. Lobbying is all over, everywhere. In some jurisdictions, there are some bodies that are called lobbyists. If you want them to lobby for you, you just engage them. You do the work for you. But I haven't lobbied for anything before.
If I may just come clear to the real question I want to ask you, have you been contracted by anybody to lobby for him or her?
No, Mr. Chair.
If I may ask, you so much experience in lobbying, in other words, you have so much information about lobbying. Have you ever
said so? That he has so much information about lobbying.
Mr. Chair, he said lobbying is as old as man.
Yes, he was making a general statement.
Okay.
But he's not said he has so much information about lobbying. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Let me reframe my question. Superintendent Asare, in your experience regarding this matter under investigation, have you learned anything about lobbying and ethics?
No, Mr. Chair.
As a police officer, Chief Bugurudabu's office is not within the police facility. You felt very free in his office to discuss matters of the police, to the point that you are even suggesting to him names that are clear for you, so competent to become Inspector General of Police should the opportunity to appear. Is that very professional to do?
Honorable Chair, it was a private conversation.
Counsel, if you may avert your mind to page 23 of the original transcription of the original tape. Page 23. I believe the third paragraph, that starts with Alaji. Alaji speaks. That is Chief Bugnaru speaks. Yeah, apart from him, there are two other commissioners who are also having their people watching. And Speaker 3, that is Superintendent Asare, he said, Ernest and Mamitiwa. If I may ask for clarity, who is Ernest and who is Mamitiwa?
Honorable Chair, these names have already been furnished the committee by me not quite long ago.
Okay.
COP Mr. Ernest Owusu and COP Mami Yatiwa Adanka.
Thank you very much for the refreshment. Alaji says, but as for Mami, and you came in to say, out, out, out. Why is Mami so out in your mind?
Mr. Chair, how this out came, I don't know. I don't know about it. I can't say anything about it. It could also mean, because it was a private discussion, it was a friendly conversation with somebody that we thought was respectable. Out. When somebody is out, to me, is the person is exceptionally good. To me.
It is quite interesting that the context of the conversation, you were endorsing some recommendations by mentioning names. Okay? And Chief Bukunabu told you two other names had come. I think you were smart enough to know the system to say the two names I know. It is Mami and Enes. And Chief Bukunaru said, but, please underline that word, but, as for Mami, and he said out. Look at the context and look at the explanation you are providing to the committee now. But as for Mami, and he said out, out, out.
Honorable Chair, for your records, I want to say that how this out came, I cannot sit here and tell. I don't know anything about it. And if indeed it was said, it wasn't up to any bad intention, but for a positive one.
Thank you. On the 19th of June,
Superintendent,
Mr. Chair,
let's establish something before you proceed. The out attributed to you, did that come from you?
Honorable Chair, I did indicate that I have no idea of this out one, but assuming without admitting, quote and unquote, that I did make that comment, it could be on a positive sense.
Superintendent Asare, do you know the role of the police council vis-a-vis appointment of inspectors general of police?
Mr. Chair, I have never had the opportunity to work with the police council, but with the appointment of the Inspector General of Police, I have made it clear to the committee.
If I can recall what you said, it is a prerogative of His Excellency the President to appoint in consultation with the Council of State. And you and I know that the Police Council provides strategic and policy advice on matters of the police to the President. The question I want to ask, which role do you think Chief Bukrunabo will be playing to facilitate the appointment of an IGP?
Honorable Chair, Chief Bukrunabo, as we all know, is a politician. He was the regional chair for the MPP in the Northern region. And now, he is a National Council member. And when we met him in the course of our conversation, he did indicate that he recommended the current IGP to the President. So he made a statement. And if a politician tells you this, as to whether or not it is true, you leave it as it is. Because I don't need any appointment. And I wasn't, again, as well lobbying for anybody.
If you look at Regulation 82, 1CI, and if I may read that just to refresh your memory, Regulation 82 of CI 76, in other words, Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012, 82. Right. Major offenses. It is a major offense for an officer to engage in an activity outside official duties, which is likely to involve the officer in political controversy. I am very happy you know that Chief Bukrunabo is a politician and a very seasoned one as such, the former regional chairman of the MPP, a National Council member of the MPP. Discussing matters of the appointment of IGP with Chief Bukrunabo and mentioning the name of the Executive Secretary to the President, Mr. Asante Bediatu's name, in the discussions. Do you, in your own professional mind, believe that this will not stoke political controversies?
Mr. Chair, we would want to object to this question. It it is our considered view that answering this question may lead to the witness incriminating himself. Because, number one, it is a legal question. Honorable member has already referred to the police service regulations. The title is Major Offenses, and he going to answer in that manner may lead to unforeseen circumstances. So, my Lord, we would want to object to it.
You see, my humble view is that he was just telling him what he should know. You know, he's a senior police officer, understand? So when he brings to the fore the position of the law vis-a-vis his conduct, he should just comment on it. Whether he wanted to violate the laws, you know, of the service or not, or what he said is something else. I don't want to have to answer it, but I do not believe that this can give him troubles. Because, bear in mind, the trouble already is on the video. Nobody's going to create trouble for anybody. The trouble is already on the video. The audio, sorry. And the whole world has heard the trouble. So, please, I don't believe that this is an unfair question and it will have self-incriminating consequences for Supt Asare.
Except that, Chairman, maybe Honorable Peter should lay the foundation. Whether, you know, those words attributable to him are true, that would then form the basis for the second question, because there's a certain assumption that he said them without first establishing from him.
You see, this is Superintendent. The reason why I'm quiet looking at you like that is that when he's saying certain things and attribute them to you, and you know that he didn't say it, I mean, what do? So if he comes out with an assumption and then you believe that the assumption is wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong or it's right. It depends on you. So, Counsel, I mean, I know that he's a very senior police officer and he has the benefit of two lawyers. So listen to the questions critically, because what he's trying to, put across is an assumption of truth. And whether you accept the assumption of truth or not is up to you. So, Honorable, would you want to probably rephrase and help him to answer? But trust me, if it's self-incriminating, we will let you know that, look, he shouldn't answer. But I don't believe this one is self-incriminating.
I'm grateful.
Thank you very much, Chairman. But Superintendent Asare himself knows that I will not push him in the corner, that he will suffocate.
No, he doesn't know. Because you used to be a police officer. At that time, as if you are romancing a person to put him in a corner to suffocate. So I don't trust your bona fides, you know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me lay proper foundation.
Is what? Amazing. Amazing. Well, but I can assure you that by my training as a criminal attorney, you should be careful whether he's not leading you into a blind alley. You have those things. This is what people use in tricking witnesses and all that, but...
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me just lay a foundation. Page 22 of the original transcript. Counsel, if you may just get it. Page 22. In the middle, after Speaker 3 says, thank you, Alaju continues, if I will try to read the tree. Semeka Chiremo se Mikura bomb, Mato bomb bako, to wit, I told you I had a bomb. I dropped one. That is Alaji. And you came in to say, Mete say, Odi bedia tu kra juma. Eye me say, on kanokre enchirano. To which I heard he reprimanded Bediatu. It seems he doesn't tell him the truth. Alaji came back to say, we'll see. To which, pardon me, and you came in. Me say, President no, di Bediatu Ejuma, say, he has not been telling him the truth. To which I said, I heard the president reprimanded Bediatu for that. He has not been telling him the truth. Alaji says, yes. And Commissioner Mensah ended that page by saying, Bediatu does not tell the president what is going on. And I'm asking the question, you are a senior police officer. Here is what you said about the involvement of Bediatu on this whole matter. If you go to page 23, just the first paragraph. And then, Menina Nado, Wafasi, say Wunim, area mama. Or see, now everybody has put a blame on Bediatu. And the question now was just asking. The president's Wafasi, area mama, is coming into the picture. The executive secretary to the president is coming in the picture, and presumably the statement in there, which is quite dangerous, the president's executive secretary doesn't tell him the truth. And I'm asking the question. If you look at Regulation 82, 1C1, which talks about the ability to be able to prevent yourself or absolve yourself from political controversy. And as a professional police officer, I was just asking a simple question. Do you believe that this does not qualify that you stoke political controversy in the system?
Mr. Chair, I think this question comes in two forms. One, comment about Nana Asante Bediatu. And the second form is also about area mama. As Honorable Chair, these matters were strictly private and confidential matters, which I did not intend to make it public, and I do not intend to do so.
Thank you. Since you do not intend to progress from that angle, and chairman is quiet, it means that chairman doesn't have a problem with your position. But if I may end, do you know how Chief Bugri Nabo and Superintendent JB met? Do you know how they met?
Well, we want to object to this question.
About it. What was the question? I was being distracted by a consultant on some other matter. What was the question?
Chief Bugunaru indicated to this committee that you introduced Superintendent JB to him. But I was just asking a very simple question. Do you know how they met? Whether it was your introduction that qualifies for the first meeting, or they knew each other before you got them together?
Mr. Chair, we think that the question, no proper foundation has been raised in this question. The witness has already indicated that he never did any introduction between JB and Alaji. So therefore, asking, do you know how they met? It creates the impression that he has already admitted there was a meeting and he has to now explain how they met. We believe that this is not a proper.
Yes, but you see, this is not even a matter of law. You understand? The big man here should be able to say that, Honorable, I've never admitted I've met, I've introduced JB, and therefore your question is wrong in the first instance, and then you go on. They are very simple matters, though. You see, the legalities is what should concern you. But I'm sure he's very, very, very good enough to understand, I mean, if you like, the inherent contradiction of what he's saying. Because you've told the committee, I've never introduced JB to anybody. So you should repeat it. I expected him to say that, no. So, Council, I think your client is very safe and very intelligent. And both of them are policemen. Yeah, so you should understand where he's going. You know, the police, they have a way of asking questions, but when another policeman is answering another policeman, there shouldn't be difficulty. Unless there's a legal trap, and trust all of us here. We'll protect him. You know the number of lawyers who are here? 1, 2, 3. We'll protect him. The great consultant too. So I do not believe this is a serious, question which is self-incriminating or, but I'm only craving the indulgence of my colleague to learn. And I'm also praying that Superintendent Asare is listening well. Please.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Before I land, as the chair puts it, none of us here has an interest to incriminate anybody. No. Chief Burinabu made some assertions, and if it had to do with you, it is an opportunity for me to put it before you so that at least you have the chance to say yes or no, because it means a lot for your own integrity. Chief Burinabu appeared before the committee and said, I spoke to Superintendent Jebi on phone in my office, and Superintendent Asare was there. Is this assertion true or not?
Mr. Chair, the assertion is false.
Mr. Chair, if I am permitted to stand down now, if I may come back later, in other words, this is how far I can go. Thank you.
Honorable Patrick Wama will have his turn.
Thank you, Chairman. I have a few questions for Superintendent Asare, or Chief.
Superintendent, Honorable Chair.
Very well, thank you. You've told this committee that your closeness to Chief Nabu was as a result of his son being your spiritual father.
That is so, Honorable Chair.
How long have you known the son, please?
Honorable Chair, if I'm not mistaken, I've known Prophet for about 2 years. I know him, but that time he wasn't my friend. But since we had that bond, it is about 2 years now.
Just 2 years?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I see. Does he operate a church, or he's just freelance?
Honorable Chair, he only prays for me anytime we come into contact. And it was a friend that introduced him to me. That is a pastor. He's a prophet. He's very good. And ever since I met him, I've seen some changes. He's giving me some directions, and some of them worked. Yes.
So, have you? I want to yield to the chair for.
Yes. Supt. You said a man should prophesy for you. And as a senior police officer, you didn't investigate his bona fides, where he was functioning from, and the rest of it. Is that what you want this committee to believe?
Honorable Chair, I know he has a church, but I have never been there. He prays for me on phone. Yes, and I could remember there was a time. No. When was that? The second time I went there, the second time I went to Bugri Nabu's office on his invitation, I suggested to him after our deliberation that he should help the son to get his own church. For according to him, he's following somebody and it's not helping him. So he wants to have his own church. So Alhaji should help him. And Alhaji asked me, as you told me, he prays for you. Does his prayers work? And I said, hey, Alhaji, your own son, you don't trust him. Why do you do this? Just help him find his own church, whether his prayers work or it doesn't work. That one, you will take it from there. What he needs is his own church building. Yes, I remember I had a discussion with Chief Bugri Nabu.
But did he prophesy to you that you'll be taped? Or he didn't prophesy to you that you'll be taped?
Honorable Chair, even our almighty TB Joshua, that is known in our sub-region as most powerful spiritually, his church building collapsed on his church members and he didn't know. So it will be difficult for men of God to see everything. Sometimes certain things may escape you, as human as you are.
Honorable Boama, you are in the prophetic. Move on.
I don't want to assume that responsibility, Chairman. So you had 3 encounters with Chief Nabu. 1 with his son. 2 when he invited you and asked for suggestions for a new IGP. The 3rd one was a meeting of the 19th June 2023 at 5:57 p.m. You said to us, good. Where were you in 2012, 2016, and 2020 during the elections?
Honorable Chair, 2012, I was the district crime officer, Tesano, and Honorable member was my MP then in Iowa, Okankwe Central then. And 2016...
2012, I was a candidate.
So you were a candidate, yes. You were a candidate, that's correct. And you won.
I did.
Yes. And 2016, I was in Mamprobi. 2020, headquarters. Headquarters, police, national headquarters.
So, you've never supervised an election as a district commander or a divisional commander?
Mr. Chair, the election 2012, I supervised the election in my area of responsibility in Tesano.
But you are not a district commander or the divisional commander then?
I was made the one in charge, the task force, the security task force. But the deployments and everything were done by my commanders, the district commander and the divisional commander.
Okay. This whole inquiry or probe is about suspicions of a politically favored Inspector General of Police who could influence the outcome of an election. That's why I asked you where you were in 2012, 2016, and 2020. Can you tell this committee whether that is possible?
Honorable Chair, if you may repeat the question.
The discussions between Commissioner Mensah and Chief Nabu was to get a favorable IGP who could assist the government of the day in elections. If you listen to the tape well.
Mr. Chair, the question is now clear. The meeting that we had with Chief Bugri Nabu had gotten nothing to do or had nothing to do with politics. At all. And I repeat, at all. Chief Bugri Nabu invited me that I should come with him. My first invitation, unless, of course, somebody tells me, if somebody is a politician, when even he asks you of your name, you are not supposed to answer. Politicians are our brothers. They are our friends. Some of them are our mates. Like my brother, Honorable Peter Tobu. I cannot say Peter Tobu is now a politician, so I shouldn't talk to him. No, it got nothing to do with politics at all.
So this mafia, supposed mafia in elections that was discussed on the tape, and you have the benefit of the transcript. Do you agree with that, please? Supposed mafia. Exhibit 1, page 4. I know you were not there, yes, but you've had the benefit of going through the transcript. And I want to find out from you whether you believe that in elections or organization of elections, as was discussed in the tape, there can be some mafia work, in quote, as was stated on record.
Honorable Chair, as you rightly said, when that particular statement was made, I wasn't there. But listening to the tape, if I'm to give a comment on that, what I have to say is that you have had the opportunity to see my work in your constituency. And Honorable Peter will attest to the fact. I'm the type, my 1 is 1, my 2 is 2. I don't lie. My 1 is 1, my 2 is my 2. What is good for the good is equally good for the gander. What you aren't supposed to do, I would never encourage you to do it, especially if I'm supervising or I'm part of the operational team. No way, anybody that knows me will tell you. You can do background check about me. I don't believe in mafiaism.
You see, it's not that you don't believe in mafia. He's just trying to pick your brain. That's a serious police officer of long standing. Is it the case, or is it not, that in electoral competition, there could be tendencies of people trying to use mafia so they win elections? That's all he's asking.
Honorable, that is something that is supposed not to be entertained. It is not a good thing.
Yes, it's not supposed to be entertained. I agree. We know it's very wrong. But is there a likelihood, or can it even be the practice, based on your experience, that in electoral competition of the nature we have in this country, as to who should be an MP and a president, some people could use mafia tactics? Do you believe in these things, or you think that is somebody's imagination?
Oh, Honorable Chair, mafia tactics, we hear after elections. People complain. News, publications, you hear that this thing happened here, this thing happened here. And I see them to be mafia tactics, which shouldn't be entertained.
So you want to admit that there can be the possibility of the political players trying to use mafia tactics to get electoral advantage over their opponents as a senior police officer?
Exactly so,
Yes,
Honorable Chair.
that's all he's trying to say.
So, Superintendent, on that fateful day when you went to Chief's office at about 5:57 p.m., who were the other people in that office?
Honorable Chair, I went to meet 2 persons. 1, Chief Bugri Nabu. 2, my boss, COP Mr. George Alex Mensah.
And what was the subject matter for that meeting?
Honorable Chair, when I got there, the meeting had almost ended. If you, okay, when I got there, the meeting had already ended. And from my deductions, I saw that Chief Bugri Nabu wanted to tell us that there's going to be a possible changes in the top hierarchy of our work, and that it could be possible Commissioner will get a nod.
So it
As
was,
to whether or not he was lying, I cannot tell.
so the discussions were on who becomes the next IGP.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And you had arranged for Commissioner Mensah to see Chief Nabu.
Honorable Chair, that is not it. As I did indicate, our visitation to his office was at the instance of Chief Bugri Nabu. I didn't arrange whatsoever for any meeting.
So the entire police service, Commissioner Mensah meeting Chief Nabu, there couldn't have been any other officer to have joined that meeting than Superintendent Mensah. Asare, sorry.
Honorable Chair, it was because I introduced or recommended him to Chief Buginabu.
So you were the fixer.
Honorable Chair, fixer as in what?
The go-between Commissioner Mensah and Chief Nabu.
Honorable Chair, I will dispute this. That's not true. That can't be correct.
But you are the same person who mentioned the names of Commissioner Tiwa, Ernest Ousu, and Yohono to Chief Nabu.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
So you were in the process of influencing the appointing authority through Chief Nabu for any of these 4 people to be the next IGP.
Honorable Chair, I was just expressing my opinion. Just an expression of opinion. Because I do not have the capacity to appoint an Inspector General of Police. I'm too small.
After that meeting in Osu, you met with COP Mensah.
No, Mr. Chair.
You didn't call him?
I cannot recall, but he is the type, you know, Mr. George Alex Mensah is the quiet type. Very quiet, he doesn't talk. My honorable brother, Honorable Peter Tobu, can attest to this fact. That is the quiet type. He doesn't talk at all. Had it not been that day when he was seated by my at the right-hand side, I never knew he could talk like that. Even though he taught me at the police college. Yes. But that is all that I know. He doesn't talk. So for me to be calling him, no, unless he calls me.
You have a lot of respect for him.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And he appeared here and said that the police administration is not being managed properly by the current IGP. What do you have to say to that?
Honorable Chair, as humble and obedient servant as I am, who am I to sit in public and comment about the performance of my IGP or the police administration? I can never pass comment in public like that.
Excuse me. But would you be able to be honest professionally and comment on the performance of the IGP and the police service in camera?
Exactly so.
Well, so if you can comment in camera, then it's a good idea. We would want to hear you on that. So, is it not the case that there are about 19 officers at the inspection unit of the service instead of 4, as alluded to by Commissioner Mensah?
Mr. Chair, in as far as I'm concerned, that statement made by my commissioner was a statement of fact. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Is it the case that there are some officers due for promotion that believe that their promotions are being stifled by the IGP?
Honorable Chair, not quite long ago, I drew your attention to the fact that there are some comments that can be passed in camera, and there are some others that can be passed in public. Any attempt to make any statement in public that will seek to downgrade the very service in which I find myself, I will be doing in public, I will be doing myself more harm than good.
So why didn't you tell the honorable member that lead me not into temptation? You should have just told me.
I think, Honorable Chairman, for the sake of consistency,
Yes.
you know, the other day I had tried to ask a number of questions bordering on similar issues, but I thought the consensus built was that some of those things be dealt with in camera. And so I think we would have to be consistent here and oblige the witness the opportunity to make some of those disclosures in camera.
Yes. Thank you, Vice Chair. Honorable Boama, please continue.
Chairman, I have just two questions. So the decision is that the question of the performance of the IGP and promotions in camera. Thank you. Were you in Kumau for the by-election, please?
No, Mr. Chair.
Asare North?
No, Mr. Chair.
That's about all, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. And my brother, who has a lot of understanding on agricultural matters. Yes. Yes. I don't know whether you have been penciled as a minister for agri-designate. Yes.
Oh, Eric, I think, let me ask Chairman a question.
Are you suggesting
Is that an admission that the break the 8 mantra would fail?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I have to overrule this. Oh, please proceed.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Once you people break at 8, we will continue. Mr. Chairman, my first question to Commander Asare is that your narrative before this committee this morning is gripping but incomplete. You indicated to the committee that Chief Nabu asked you of your opinion about the performance of the IGP. And to quote you, you said, and I told him, is that opinion captured in the audio before the committee?
Honorable Chair, in my earlier statement to the committee, it was clear that the tape is incomplete. Whoever masterminded that tape, which of course you get to know it by the close of day, if not today, maybe, I don't know when the in-camera will take place. But before I sign out, you understand everything. I will end it here.
Sorry. I think
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I asked a very simple question. You have indicated to this committee that Chief Nabu asked you about your opinion on the performance of the current IGP. And you said you told him of your opinion. And I'm asking whether that opinion you expressed is captured in the audio before us or not.
Honorable Chair, this additional information as regards the tape that has been played here in about 3 consecutive occasions, there was nowhere in the tape that this statement was made. And you can allude to that fact. It is a fact. I gave it as an additional information which was not captured in the tape, just to make a point that the tape is doctored.
So you think that when the original tape is found, your opinion relative to the performance of the IGP will be heard in the audio?
For now, I don't know, Honorable Chair.
An opinion on the performance of the IGP to Chief Nabu. You did.
Honorable Chair, that meeting was private and confidential. And in confidential matters or private matters, let me tell you, Honorable Chair, for Christ's sake, supposing every conversation that people have in privacy comes to public domain, I tell you, in a matter of hours, society will come to a halt. If you hear what people talk about you in privacy, you will never come to Parliament again. I'm being honest with you.
Yes.
Yes, in privacy, so many things happen.
So, Lieutenant.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You are preaching to the converted. And you shouldn't be doing this pontification at all. We are aware. We are aware of what happens in private, you know. But it's asking a very simple question. It's asking that you have said on oath that the tape is doctored and that you expressed an opinion about the performance of the IGP. Is it true or false? That's all he wants to know. That you ever expressed an opinion about the performance of the IGP.
Honorable Chair, that is true.
That is true that you express your opinion about the performance of the IGP to Chief Nabu. Is that what you're saying?
Honorable Chair, that opinion was in response to a question posed to me during the meeting by Chief Bugri Nabu.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
So sometimes say yes and not add more. Yes, please.
And you said to this committee that you cannot repeat the same opinion here because of the cameras. Is that what you're telling us?
Exactly so.
And so the assurance is that if you are given the opportunity, you will do so in camera.
That's correct. That's correct, Honorable Chair.
A follow-up.
Okay.
Superintendent Asare.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I don't know why you struggle to simplify matters. Is it wrong for a police officer to express an opinion about the performance of his boss or her boss. Is it wrong? Why are you struggling to answer the question?
Honorable Chair, not in public. You can. In privacy, you can. But in public, you cannot.
Ask you a question about area mama. And there's a statement in the audio that is attributed to you. The statement says that, I would like to quote from page 23, Speaker 3, the first one, Speaker 3. Ene, mene nana do wafa se wunim area mama. Or say now, everybody has put a blame on Bediatio. To wait, today, I was with Nanado's niece, you know area mama. She said everybody has put the blame on Bediatio. This is a statement captured in the audio as having been made by you. And when Honorable Tobu asked you about area mama, your answer was that it was a private conversation, and therefore you wouldn't want to make a comment on it. Do you confirm that this is a statement that you made?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
But you cannot disclose the details to this committee because of the cameras. Is that the case?
Honorable Chair, I have not said so.
Okay. Area Mama told you that everybody is imputing the blame on Mr. Bediatio. Is that correct?
That is not correct, Honorable Chair.
You earlier on admitted that you made a statement, and that's what the statement says.
Honorable Chair, yes, indeed, I admitted, but it was a hearsay.
Hearsay from where?
He's dropping. I was somewhere. People were having their conversation, and I also heard it.
Commander Asare, I read the statement being attributed to you, and you said, yes, it is your statement. And that statement says, Ene mene nana adowo fasi, se winim area mama, or say now everybody has put a blame on Bediatio. To wait, today, I was with Nanado's niece, you know area mama. She said everybody has put the blame on Bediatio. So you are rather telling Bugri Nabu, Chief Nabu, and the COP Mensa of what area mama told you. And so why are you talking about hearsay? Because you are reporting a statement having been made to you by area mama.
Honorable Chair, I do not want to go into the details of this matter because it was a private conversation. It wasn't meant for public consumption.
Commander, I think earlier on, I asked you this question, and you said no. You said no. I asked you whether you said you didn't want to discuss the details here because of the camera. I said no. Do you want to change that answer?
Honorable Chair, I don't remember making that statement. I don't remember. You can take me back where?
You said that, Senior, you should take it easy. You should take it easy and do not confuse an otherwise very good thing you've started. You've told this committee, I've been listening to you critically, Your counsel is here too. And I'm always looking into the eyes of your counsel. That there are certain things about the IGP and the police service that you cannot say on camera. But when we have an in-camera hearing, you'll be able to say it. Do you want to change this narrative?
Honorable Chair, I still stand by that narrative.
That's all. That is where he's taking you. You can see. Yeah.
So you said it was a hearsay, and then you eavesdropped. What exactly do you want to tell us relative to this particular statement? What is the hearsay about this?
Honorable Chair, just as I did indicate earlier, that granted the opportunity to speak to this matter in camera, I am more than prepared to do so.
I just want to look at this issue of hearsay because I drew your attention to an emphatic statement that you have made. And then under oath, you have admitted that indeed you made a statement. And then when I asked you further questions relating to the same statement, you said, oh, it was just a hearsay. And I wanted the committee to be very clear in our minds. When we talk about hearsay relative to this, what do you mean?
Honorable Chair, I want to remain on my stance that granted the opportunity to speak to this issue in camera, I'm ever prepared to do that.
Withdraw that hearsay comment. Would you want that to be withdrawn or expunged from the records? Because you have earlier on accepted the statement as your own statement. And so there shouldn't be anything like hearsay relative to this. Do you want that to be expunged from the records?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Okay, so the part of the proceedings in which the witness said the matters concerning Area Mama and Bediacho are hearsay, and what other word was used? And hearsay and what? And eavesdrop are hereby expunged from the record.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, these statements, or particularly this statement, is already in the public domain because of the audio. And everywhere in this country and across the boundaries of our country, everybody now knows that this is a statement that emanated from you. So I was of the view that looking at the way you've been explaining matters before this committee, you do yourself some good by getting the public to know what exactly transpired relative to this statement. But if you prefer in camera, we'll take it like that and then proceed. Then, just beneath this one, there is another statement. Bediacho and the man are like this, Dampare. He has been the cause of all the problems. So, Alhaji, today, I want to hear something good. Commissioner is here, and he's the one. As I've already told you, every policeman, and then it ended. This is also captured in the audio as your own statement. Do you also confirm before this committee that this is your statement?
Honorable Chair, with the greatest of respect, I want to be silent on this issue.
That's what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, Superintendent Asare, oh, please confer first. So let the records reflect that Superintendent Asare is conferring with his counsel.
Honorable Chair, we are done.
You done? Superintendent, please, with the greatest of respect, what he's doing with you, if you are not careful, I'm a chairman, I don't have to say the consequence of what we are attempting to do. You know, he's merely bringing to the fore what is on the tape. That's all he's doing.